Greetings and salutations yet again, Earthlings. Tuesday, February 11th, 9:32 a.m. Pinging jingles on my senses as I'm trying to get myself cleaned up and my hair done. Anyway, jingled on my senses and pings about. Okay. Part of the awakening thing and clearing of karma and stuff is getting to the bitter roots and clearing out. Okay. Fear not, fear not, fear not. Okay, so fear is not of love. And where God is, fear cannot exist. So, alright. So, the jingle on my spidey senses was the cyclical stuff. The cyclical stuff, the trespassing. Why am I being reminded of this? Today's the 11th. Okay. The cyclical stuff about my car. The reason why I had to buy this car. The circumstances, all of it. All of those being reminded. And the jingle on my senses. And the cyclical stuff. Moth. And always being drawn back cyclically. Timing wise. Okay. Alright, so drying my hair. And being reminded of the playing out of karma. The energetic replays, the patterns, and the cleansing of, okay, and the trespassing. Okay, you fear not, you go and you sin no more. And if you're staying in prayer, alright, when I do that pause things, it's more of, okay, I am trying to energetically, where is it you want me to go with this thought? How am I going to express that feeling that was impressed upon me? How am I going to convey that? How am I going to flow that thought out? What energies are we working in? Okay, so Leo full moon, Leo rising, Pisces. Pisces and Cancer work with moon energies. Leo rising is my sun. So that's moon and sun twins in the sky. Get that correlation? But my moon sign is Gemini. Twins already. Twin fish. Twin Geminis. Leo is sun. Moon. Twins in our skies. So, air energy. Yet, fire and water. What does fire and water do? Make steam that goes up in the air. So that's how I utilize energies and things like that. Alright, so cyclically, I'm noticing patterns with certain people that I've made energetic ties with. The way I see things is free will. People have to choose to want to show up. Touchable, tangible. No one else can force somebody else to love or not love, to want to choose whatever. And that's one of the things that I've always prayed is, Father, please, in all moments, let me make the best choices with honor and integrity that I can live with. Let me do no harm with the choices I make. May it somehow, some way, whatever happens in my life, each moment I am trying to stay in prayer and be the best me I can, regardless of whatever's going on around me, without letting others deflect or project their shoo-shoo onto me. I don't accept that. And Father, I am trying my very best in all moments not to project or deflect my yuck onto somebody else. Father, let me stay in prayer. Right me in my wrongs so that I don't perpetuate yuck. I do want to be the most beautiful reflection of you, Father, in all moments that I can. So my father was not a man of many words. And I love the fact that when I went to my dad with anything, of the two, my father was more maternal. He was a Cancer. That was his sun sign. He's born on the 25th. I was born on the 25th. He a Cancer and me a Pisces, so we understood each other on those levels. In the fields. And I've been reminded of things, flashes throughout my childhood of like our first movies together. What we watched, the timing of when we watched it, what it was about. Like one of them was this movie called This is the Year of the Snake. There are correlations for reasons. What is it about a snake riding dusk ravens? And why that movie? Why would my dad, for enjoyment, my dad liked to watch things like Hee Haw. My dad liked Smoking the Bandits. Loved that. Loved them cars. And I remember he took us to see Jaws. And so my dad did not do an awful lot of family vacations like Disney or anything like that, but we did a lot of fishing, and there were certain movies absolutely he took us as a family to see. And reflecting back on it, it was all very methodical, very, very well thought out, dominoes put into place. Sergeant Manager was brilliant. Alright, so forethought and tapping into energies. One of the things that I always thought about was time travel. If I'm going to time travel, because that's one of the things that one of the books that I thought about writing, and a movie idea. But time travel, how is that accomplished? Energetically, everything's always energy, y'all. So how was it that Nostradamus was able to see water has memory? Water is eternal. Well, from the Alpha to the Omega, eternal flow, like Father. Energy, eternal flow. Flow. Writing Dust Raven. FLOE. FLOW. Currents, currencies. Verbiage, the use of language. And anyway. But yeah. being jingled on my senses about the whole trespassing. Yeah, you go and you sin no more. And those that do sin against you, no weapons formed against me will prosper, for thou art with me. God dwells within me as me, so why would I fear? They're trespassing on me. I have nothing to fear, but they trespassed on me, which means they opened doors and drug me in. I'm fully shielded. I'm fully aware of what's going on. They're not. They're operating in fear, which gives me an advantage over them. Because I'm not operating in fear. But I clearly see theirs. And when they trespass and you get to fight back, no weapons formed against me can nor will prosper. But I do absolutely have the advantage in every aspect. And not only do I have that advantage, but God and the ancestors are witness to all of this, because we are to be the most beautiful reflections of them in each moment possible. And if we are not, we will learn to be. Which wolves are you feeding? I am. Please, Father, let me feed only kindness, love, sweet, thoughtful considerations. Let me be luminescent in the night. Let me be a beautiful reflection. The apple of your eye, your star that shines so bright in the night sky for others to follow when they need a beacon of hope, Lord. Bottom feeders. That was something I was made to think. I was like, well, why in the world? Bottom feeders. Why did that pop into me? Why did that writing death? Crabs are bottom feeders. But the odd thing about the moon card in tarot is that it's not, is that a lobster or is that a freaking scorpion? Well, dang, scorpions do look like lobsters, don't they? Those are considered crustaceans. Crusty. Interesting thing about crabs and fish. Difference between the lobster and the scorpion and the crabs is, man, they got their exoskeletons, but man, fish is dependent on being fast and quick. Anyway, crabs are made to go along the bottom of the ocean and stuff, but they move sideways, and that comes in handy when they're in the shallows and moving. Can't really tell where they're moving. They're moving with the water or against it because the ripple. How are you looking at a thing? Why am I being led to that? Okay. The moon energies, the sun energies, moon and Leo, shedding light, the whole Neptune, the eclipses that's been happening the last several years since 9/11, and them towers coming down, them towers of Babel, all the stuff going on behind the scenes and draining of the swamp is how I feel energetically. Things have been going on. Because when 9/11 happened, it was kind of like a clear signal. Look, this is a red flag that cannot be ignored. Because what confused me is when I heard on the radio on 9/11, because today's the 11th. When I heard on the radio, because I had a smoke break, and they had back in the shipping and receiving area of work, because I was working in the meat department training to be a meat cutter. So, yeah. I was doing pretty good. Anyway, I was training to be a meat cutter. Anyway. And I was on a smoke break and the radio was playing and they interrupted to say that the towers had been hit with that airplane. And my first thought was, when they said it was a terrorist attack, I was like, no, if it was a terrorist attack, they'd hit the Pentagon first. That was my first thought. And it wasn't how long after that they said the Pentagon was hit. And that's when I freaked out, because my brother-in-law, my children's uncle, works in the Pentagon. Has for years. Yeah. Anyway. And when I heard, anyway, reel it in. The towers was a signal, kind of the go, go, go time of the accounting of all the that's been going on behind the scenes that should never have been allowed. The accountings. When you take oaths and just like when oaths are taken and you go against them, there's an accounting. You promise to go and do no harm, like medicine. People that medically sort of, not part of their oaths. When you get sworn into a public office, you take oaths, intentions, and your word and what you say. Okay. That's the jingle jingle of my spidey senses. So what's happening cyclically? Yeah. People have free will. If they don't want to show up and be the best them, okay. Or if they don't feel like, okay, for me, the way I've always felt about things is, if me loving somebody, if they don't feel like I am the best choice for them to be around and adding to their happiness, I love my people. When I say I love somebody, if I'm adding to their stress and upsetting them, or we are not learning from one another in the healthiest of ways, then I will exit stage left. And when somebody says, I love you, but I am not in love with you, that means I love you. But as a life partner, when you take vows, then they are telling you, I love you as a person. As we're all supposed to love one another. We are all God's children and a part of. We are to love and be loved. Love thy neighbor. So, but if they are not in love with you in the aspect of choosing to, I choose you to show up in ways that we grow together and learn each day, so that we're not, I care enough, I don't want you angry at me. If you're not ready to talk about something, then we're going to calm down, think about things, and try again. And if your nervous system is so upset by my presence that you cannot help, that I am detrimental to your health, I will remove myself from your presence. Or if you are upsetting me to the point that I cannot function in a healthy capacity, then for my own sake and my own preservation, because I love me, and I am no good to anybody if I am not healthy within me and making the best choices. So that's the way I always tried to be. I calm down, think about things, and try again. And I would try to let my kids, when my kids were small, I would always try to let them know, look, I'm upset, I'm not feeling good, or whatever was going wrong, so that they understood I am trying not to be upset and angry, but I'm not doing okay right now, so I may not respond well. I'm trying not to be upset with you. It's not your fault. And I always did, when I realized I was wrong, I always tried to let them know, look, I really could have handled that better, and I'm sorry. I always tried to do that. And the times that I didn't, God, I am trusting and believing that they have always known that I have always loved them, always wanted them to be the happiest, most bestest them that they could them. And if we couldn't get along, then we would try to find something to laugh about so that we could at least laugh things off until we could find a way to talk about things with each other. And if they chose not to be around me because they got their own stuff going on, then okay. Respectfully, I get that. Anyway, the discerning of what's my emotion and others' emotions, projections and deflections, knowing what is you. God, please let me make the best choices in each moment. Give me let me learn these lessons quicker, faster, smarter, because I'm not understanding a lot of times the as within, so without. Okay, well, all right. Look at things honestly. I asked you to keep me away from anything that's not the most healthiest for me. Okay, well then I'm being kept isolated until yeah. Others can namaste me, and kindness and friendship and thoughtful considerations and nurturing. Did you hear the train whistle? The 11th. Yeah. The towers. Tower of Babel. Understanding people's languages. Communication. Interrupting people's ability to communicate and to relay the information. Algorithms. The flow of the thoughts, the words. All right. That's more weirdness of that. Why did that cyclically come around? Did I make the point that I was supposed to? I don't know, but it sure jingled on my senses pretty hard while I was trying to listen to stuff. Yeah, that trespassing. Yeah, if others trespass upon you first, you get to trespass back. And they get no say in it whatsoever. They gave away that right. I did not. I did not give permission. It's not allowed. I'm sovereign. I'm forever and eternal. Just like the water that creates these bodies and every space in between. From the Alpha to the Omega, I am loved, and loving. And let me in the touchable, tangible always show up. It's the best me possible. Solution focused, Father. My hair's not quite dry. All right. Solution focused. All right. Being flowed. But yeah, others have to want to show up. They have to want to participate. And if they don't, okay. I pray that they go where they thrive in the most healthiest, amazing ways. To the most creative them that they can them. And if it's not around me, I would never want to interfere with anybody's growth or progress. Let us all bloom and blossom into the best us as we can and safe places to live and be loved for us all. Please, Father. Helping one another when the going gets tough. To overcome, adapt, and adjust. And pull each other up like them crabs in that bucket theory. But rather than trying to tear each other down and pull them back, no, they're trying to help each other up out of it. Pull them up and overcome it together. Work as a team. We're stronger, better together. Like these ancient tree root systems. Yeah. Anyway, day in the wind. Anyway, painting with all the colors of the wind. God's paintbrush. Every day, every moment of this beautiful becoming is a great work of art. And I'm loving every second I'm blessed with. I hope y'all are too. I hope you're loving every second of being kind. Start with yourself.